slammed. Yeah, a lot of places are getting slammed with weather right now. Good morning, Vietnam, says Vinica. Looks like an Aztec name. I don't know if I can pronounce that, guys. Alrighty, guys, so here I am. We're getting some ice and rain. Right now it's raining, but the temperature's right at 32. A lot of this rain is freezing. Let me turn this camera around. We can see what I'm seeing instead of me. Hang on. So not always. I messed up. I should have started the video. Will it let me rotate it? Let's see. It usually don't. I messed up. I started the video wrong, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I meant to start. I got in a hurry. I'm sitting here holding stuff. You can see we got ice on all these trees. The temperature here is right at 32. You can see through the ice. Yeah, we got a mess of ice. Man, sorry about that, starting the video in the way I did. I wanted to do horizontal and got in a hurry. Had my hands full with this umbrella and everything. Wasn't thinking. Because I was also a little behind getting it started. So we're going to go out to the greenhouse. I fired it up at about 4 o'clock this morning with a heater I had in there so that ice wouldn't form on it first thing this morning. Because I worry about that greenhouse collapsing under the weight of ice. Or lifting the plastic. So we're walking through my log barn here. We're going to go out that way in a minute. We're going to check on things. We'll walk in the greenhouse first. Look here. So, you know, there are 3.5 million people without power. We're going to talk about the people that don't have the power outages. We're going to talk a little bit about greenhouse care. We're going to talk about some tips for you to what you need to do. We're going to talk about driving tips. In fact, I'm going to take a little drive. You believe that? I think I'm going to drive and talk about driving tips. The main driving tip is don't drive. So I'm going to violate that. But again, I lived in Alaska 2 years. And the roads here are still kind of wet. You can see we do have ice all up in these trees. And that's what's at risk of power. Okay, I don't have any ice on the greenhouse. Yee-hoo, good. Good. It's water. I'm just wearing tennis shoes, guys. I'm already getting them wet. So I don't want to step in the water if I can avoid it. You can see it's wet on the greenhouse. You can tell by the way. Oh, I got a pipe that's poked through. I got to do some repair work. I got to rent one of them tall ladders to do that though. Yeah, I got a pipe come loose and poke through. All right, there's no ice on the greenhouse. That's good. It don't mean that water won't freeze later tonight. There's still a lot of water on it. Whoop, this has got ice on it. This is a little bridge here I'm slipping through. Well, that started running again. Interesting. Yeah, I'm slipping, sliding, skating down that little ramp there. That's my well water running. Which means that came unfroze last night, probably because that water is at 55 degrees. Believe it or not, I'll show you another tip. I probably ran a risk of losing this frost freeze faucet. We're going to go in here and I'm going to tell you about the power outages. All right, I was afraid I might have to crank this heater back up now, and I still may have to today before dark. I hope not, because I've got 10 gallons of kerosene right here. I went out and put some extra insulation on my swamp coolers, on my coolers outside last night. That's my shop heater. That's my primary alternate heat source. You can see here I dried the ground out in front of the heat last night or this morning. There's no ice up here. I got some repair work to do up here, I can see that. But this thing's been kind of under a lot of stress for a long time. It's took a lot of wind, this greenhouse has. Those are only 1.5 inch PVC pipes. They're painted so that the PVC won't outgas and mess up the plastic. But I gotta have a taller ladder than that one. That's a pretty tall ladder. It actually worked at the very top of this. I rent one periodically. I was hoping I could be able to save money up enough to buy one before I went back in, because I've rented those ladders several times. It cost about $15. It cost them about $50 every time I rent them. Plus going to get them. Well, what happened here? something has been pounding on my door and busting it up here. Wonder what did that. Well, I could go up through here, but I don't have that string on it to reclose it. I won't go back at there. But last night I was out here on these solar panels putting more insulation on, and I'm using this plastic covered insulation because I don't have a whole lot growing in my beds right now. I got to replant. We're about to start planting lettuce for the plants that you need inside your greenhouse aquaponics system. I don't have a whole lot of fish. My fish that I have are tolerant to, those are mostly goldfish. They're quite tolerant to the, what do you call it? Well, it's a 5,000 gallon system too. They're quite tolerant to ammonia as opposed to other fish. So they can handle it until I get a buildup going here. See if I got, and we'll feed the fish. Hey guys, we'll go for an aquaponics fish feed here in the ice. These fish are hungry. Although cold, they don't need as much. It ain't that cold. Look at them. They're ready to eat. They're hungry. So feed me, Daddy. Tear that up a little bit more. These are some hungry fish today. Not big goldfish. Yep, they're ready to eat. And you'll see what's really going to fun to feed is these. This covers is to keep algae from growing in here in the water. Now, since I'm almost one-handed, I like to feed these brim. I got brim in this tank. That's how they feed them. Yeah. See them coming up, starting to feed. Usually they'll pop it. They'll jump at that and pop it. But they're kind of cold today, so there may not be so much into it. Got a message from Gail Andrews saying she wanted me, so I wonder if she's watching this. All right, so I'm going to tell you about the power outages. I just want to check out my fish. You know, on the farm, you got to take care. I'm pushing this wood back together, keep the light out. You got to take care of stuff no matter what the weather is. You don't get an off day. You always got to look after the fish and rabbits and livestock, worms. They have to be looked after regularly. All right, what did I do with my notes? Because we got over 3.5 million people without power. There's the rain on the roof here. So Texas, as of a few minutes ago, when I last checked about 15, 20 minutes ago, Texas had 2,842,736. How they get that exact number, 6, I don't know, out of power. That's almost 3 million. Oregon, 329,945. Virginia has 100. Yeah, this is kind of wonky right here. Virginia has 114,018 people without power. Louisiana has 109,089 without power. Mississippi has 55,467 without power. Look at that old blackberry bush over there. I'm gonna cut that thing and get out of here. You know, that thing is so thick I couldn't cut it with my pocket knife like I normally do. I got to bring some prune hooks out here. That thing's over 2 years old. It's got spots on the bark. Vines like it don't live that long. So now here's other states. So there's several other states, 6 other states that have between 10 and 50,000 people out of power. Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, West Virginia, and North Carolina. I went from the northwest to the southeast in that, okay? I'll repeat that. Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, West Virginia, and North Carolina. And it's just going to get to be more, folks. It's just going to get to be more. So I'm glad I don't have to refuel my heater right now, because that would kind of distract from this video. But I will have to shortly. One thing that keeps the temperature in here more stable is the water. But as the winter goes, it adds less and less to the overall stability. See, outside it is 32 degrees. Right here it is almost 38, about 37 probably in here. But the water temperature is dropping. That's the sad thing. My water temperature is about 42 degrees right now. So it's not adding a whole lot to this anymore. It does at nighttime. You can see the water building up in there. It's because I've got air blowers in here. Got to come in here and clean all these panels off and replant them. These panels are nasty. I had a tomato plant survived in here 2 years, but somebody in their infinite wisdom, who's a smoker, he didn't think I was right, came in here and swapped a few tomatoes from me, and that tomato plant started dying instantaneously, as did the peppers and everything else around. He's got some of my peppers, he got my tomatoes. That plant was beautiful. It was big, lush green jungle over here, and it died. That's a lot of plant mass I got to replace. I got some lettuce growing there, but it's going to bolt. So I'm gonna set up some new lettuce here, starting in a few days. We got to get that growing real quick. So that's gonna be a top priority real soon. Well, we'll go outside again. We're going back out in the rain and the ice. I don't mind the ice as much as I mind the rain. When it's raining, it's cold, freezing rain. That's nasty stuff. All right, guys, here we are, back out in the winter wonderland. Oh, I was going to show you something. I had this thing running, and I shut it off in the ground. Now look here, I got the dangum smoker back here. I hate that. One of my hired hands thought it was a cool idea to smoke back here, and that's against my rules. Let me catch them. Let me catch them. I'll have to talk to them. Not supposed to be smoking back here at all. I got a cigarette butt there and one over here. I'm just leaving them there shut up, but there's a valve in there I shut off, and then I decided maybe I needed to turn it back on, and I did, and I discovered the water wasn't flowing. Well, this hose pipe was frozen. I go, well, how did that happen? The thing should have just drained out. And I got looking and saw that it actually curved under the door, and then it came back up, out right through here. See those hoses? That green one. And it was bent down. So from there back, the water in it froze. The water in my faucet froze, and I was afraid my frost-free faucet was going to freeze and bust. But it's warmed up enough, it's running now. I went and I set up an alternate run. I don't know if I can get across my ice-covered bridge without falling in the swamp or not. You want to see me go for a swamp fall risk here? Might go for it. Check out the ice, guys. It's raining, but it's still icy. I don't know if that rain's melted in this ice or not. Because it's still, yeah, I think it has some of it. But that's all going to refreeze, because it's just now, yeah, it's just now dropped back to freezing here. And it's dropping. I just hope these trees don't start bending and breaking. That one's bending. I might put my greenhouse, my rabbit hutch. Actually, my house could be at risk, but those trees right behind the house are pretty strong. I see a tree bending a lot right there, and that one's bending a lot right there. See that? Those trees are at risk of breaking. If you get a whole lot of ice, I've seen these trees bend down pretty good though and not snap. But you get too much, it'll start snapping. That puts power lines at risk. Just the weight of the ice puts power lines at risk. Okay, our bridge don't look as bad icy as it was last night when I went over 4 o'clock this morning. Don't mean there's not ice in it. I'm gonna walk this real carefully. You might see me take a drink here in a minute. Might see me take an unscheduled bath. That'll be a cold one. Whoop, real icy right there still. Gotta watch this. I can wind up in there. I got water running here. That's my well water. I got it running 2 spots right now. Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, I had to give him water through one of those now because his little bottle's frozen. I'll give him some a little bit. I'll come back out here. We're gonna go to the store. We're gonna drive. I'm gonna give you some driving tips. I'm gonna do another session tonight if I still have power. Show my, remember all my tools? No, these ain't all my tools. Most of them are locked up. There's my other frost-free faucet that I started running last night. I gotta step across this little wet area here. Use my heels. You know what? Don't do well in boots. My feet are just weird shaped. Put all that ice on this garbage can. Top. Everywhere. The door of my van's not frozen too. We're gonna go for a little trip. Ah, that's my ice dropping off trees. Hear that? Yeah, my little cover, my roof over my washroom there might be somewhat at risk. Already had one tree fall on it. I got some repair work to do already. The drainage here. Alrighty. Try to get out of here. So the number one driving tip for ice is don't drive, especially unless you absolutely have to, especially if you're a southern boy. And I'm a southern boy, and the only reason I'm driving is I don't absolutely have to, no. But I do, well, excuse me, I'm reaching for my keys and I'm losing control of my phone. It is the case that here in, I did live in Alaska, okay? And the roads actually aren't frozen right now. So it will be tomorrow. So if my door's not frozen, if I can open my car, and I can, good. Then let me see if I can open the side door. These caravans are, they won't even unlock. Okay, that's not a good sign. The unlocker button's not working. This door is probably frozen. Let's see. Sometimes they'll freeze. You can't get them open or you can't reclose them. Oh, did fine. A bunch of junk stored in here. There's too much ice and it won't work right. Yeah. One tip for a door is the half shut them and lock it where you can't open it, but then when you can push it in and get it out. I guess most of you know that trick. So, close my door. About to go for a drive, folks. Maybe we'll see some more stuff. Sound like a cannon. Yeah, for risk to be walking around out in the woods like that when a tree could snap and all that stuff fall on your head. A lot of weight in it. That could leave you somewhat less than completely animate. You know what I mean in a charitable sort of sense there, guys. Wow, how many people got in the room? We got 103 people in the room, but only 48 thumbs up. Guys, give me some more thumbs up. Helps me all lower, no rhythms. I really need that help. My channel has been kind of been depressed because I cover topics that they don't want to hear. Not to mention that, you know, I cover topics, and sometimes you just ain't supposed to talk about anything. Except bunny rabbits, I guess. I can talk about bunny rabbits. I got a couple. Kitty cats. Maybe I should do a kitty cat channel. Be a lot more profitable. Thinking about it. Anyway, time's my killer. Anyway, guys, I gotta set this phone down where I can buckle up. Always buckle up. As I'm driving along, I'll give you driving tips, but I'm gonna check the messages from you guys first. See where we're at. What you guys are saying. So if I can get through here. All right, you were north of me. Nothing here as yet, says Ledette. Okay. Sassafras, make sure you hit the light. Thank you, Sassafras. Appreciate that. Man, my daughter got ice and snow in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, they got it bad up in Portland. Guys, I'm not saying I got it the worst. Far from it. There's a lot of people got it worse. I mean, Texas has been hit real hard right now. So let's say a prayer for our brethren in Texas. Vicky Savage, many blessings, and she's in Texas. I hope your hotel's got power. Let me hope so. Up here in Chattanooga, we're waiting the ice and sleet. Yeah, it's heading your way. So yeah, the moisture, the precipitation may peter out, but it's supposed to get really cold here a few nights off and on. And the weather like this is going to continue through the week, looks like. Send my love, says Shannon. Thank you. Don't lose any credit. Well, Vicky, the only thing I got outside is growing is the garlic. It should be just fine. Fill gallons of water and flush toilets with. There you go. That's one thing to do. Ice donuts. Snow is fun, but ice is deadly. Yeah, you got that right, Jason. The ice is the problem. Scott County, Arkansas snow from yesterday, last night. Okay. 3 to 5 inches. We won't get that much. We're having ice slush storms today. Yep, Shannon's in Kentucky. So, hi, Greg, and all morning light. Vicky, I'm not concerned about your driving. Yeah, that's just it. That's one of my driving tips, too. Her and I talked about this actually yesterday. 38 degrees and below. Wow, y'all pretty warm down there, tropical. In our farms. Bring Greg, what's up, brother? Turn my vibrator off. Oh, my phone. All right, goldfish. Can we eat goldfish? Oh, yeah, you can. But I'm growing just because they're robust for an aquaponics system. I didn't grow them as eating fish. But those brim and that other thing, I did have tilapia in that third tank, but somebody that thought they needed to run chlorinated water in my aquaponics system and wiped everything out. So I'm just recovering from that, really. Spent most of yesterday in the freezing, pouring rain feeding animals. That's what you do on the farm, A&R Farms. That's what I just said. Amen to that. Fortunately, at least in the greenhouse, I'm not in the freezing rain, but I got some fish out here. I got rabbits. I think this rain's going to end a little bit. Moscow, Tennessee. We had snow yesterday, sleet today. Yeah, I bet. Expecting pretty good snow in Michigan, says Brian. Go fish a carp. Very hardy. Yeah, they are. That's why I'm raising them. They're hardy fish. South Louisiana, LA Patriot. How you doing down there? Elton Butterfield. Hey, hello. Let's see here. Got plenty of ice on the ground. Pines are cracking and popping in the woods. Uh-oh. That's down in Louisiana, guys. And Louisiana's got one of the states that's getting hit and reporting power outages. That's part of the numbers. I mean, I'll do another session tonight. And if I got power, we'll look at where the power outages are right now because it's growing. It's growing. Arnold says, hi, Rocket Man. Well, here we go, heading back into the 1800s. It might be. It might just be. So that's what I talk to you guys about when I talk about prepping. You know, we may have, right now, about 1 in 100 people in the United States are out of power, and it's probably going to grow. I was powering Austin for 12 hours. Thing is, if you get a lot of power lines go down, it can take weeks to replace them, and that's not fun. You could be in a kind of a pickle there for several weeks. Badger, I know you're glad for power again, says A&R Farms. I bet. I bet. Yeah, if you got it back this fast, you're lucky. You're lucky. They're trying to keep things patched as much as they can. I still have a foot of ice and snow from the last storm in Virginia. Wow, crazy. Kathy Sharon. Wow. The Badger report says, not as much as my wife. I was talking about being happy. Hey, that's a good name, the Badger report. I like that. Carl BJ Erke says, freezing rain. Yeah, this is the nasty stuff when it's raining and freezing. See, that's what's falling right now is rain. But look at all the ice out here. So we're right on the cut. Oh, you're not seeing outside. You're seeing me still. Hang on. Well, if I can turn this thing around. There we go. So once again, for those just joining, I apologize. I didn't turn this phone around. I was in such a hurry to get going. I was a little bit late for the session. And I had a handful of stuff, so I just didn't. Trying to handle. Don't drive, Greg. Yeah, I'll be all right. Big trees breaking. Yeah, all right. So, we're at. Lady Daggerstad's happy. Good morning. Trees are falling everywhere. Yeah. Hey, yeah, we can use some more lights, guys. We got 124 in the room and only 74 thumbs up. Helps the Al Gore, no rhythms. And Kristen Adams, about 2 inches in west of Fort Worth. Our electricity are back on for the moment. Well, good luck with that. Charge everything up. Yeah, run as much water as you can in buckets if you can to flush your toilets. Jason, woo-woo. They have a bike trail diverted to run on my street while they do some highway work. Wow. Lost power for 12 hours in Austin. I thought I saw that. Oh, yeah, I must have script down here the notes a little bit. Gorgeous Awesome. How you doing? All right. Already clicked the thumbs up. Appreciate it, Morning Light. Gorgeous, I do have the necklace on right now from you. Should have brought my magic wand. I might need it out here. Yeah, y'all are allowed to lose cell service. Keep everything charged as much as you can. Scratch from England. How you doing, buddy? What's the weather like in England, Scratch? Yeah, it's western. Yeah, I hear that Moscow is digging out of a record storm right now. Moscow is covered. So, you know, you think of a polar vortex, maybe it'd go over one side of the world or the other, but it's hitting both sides here in the northern hemisphere. It's happening in Moscow. It's happening all across North America. So do we want to call this grand solar minimum? Are we in the grand solar minimum, my friends? Is it starting to hit us? We're heading back toward a little maxima. That might give us a little bit of respite, but what happens in 2030? Yeah, that looks cold. Far too many people are unprepared. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So maybe this will be a little bit of a lesson. Learn these lessons while you can. Expecting a foot of snow tonight, tomorrow. All right, Carl. That's a lot. Just north of Toronto. Well, you used to that in Toronto. I used to go to Toronto a lot. Yeah, I used to go up because Space Station Robotics, was being done. Back then the company was SPAR what was the name before they were Spartan? They sold again. It was MD something. I forget who they are now. They've sold several times. They used to be downtown in Toronto. Then they moved out. Well, not really downtown, but they used to be right in Toronto. Then they moved out to Brampton. Big flat floor assembly to do the space station robotics and spatial robotics and all that. My apple trees are actually starting to wake up. Uh-oh. Yeah, I got a few things trying to bud out here. Apophis. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a report on Apophis. It's going to pass, somewhat close to Earth, and in a few weeks, but it's not going to be real close to approach. But it's coming back in 2029, pretty close, and 2036. I'm also going to open my shirt up here. Hang on. There we go, Gorgeous Awesome. Gorgeous Awesome made this. Isn't this beautiful? Check it out, guys. This was a gift from Gorgeous Awesome. I always wear it. Always. Always got it on. So, right next to my heart. A little high. Hey, Greg, what are the worms good for? Fishing in the dark? Yeah. Old fish will smell them. They'll smell them. That's what's good about a red worm. They got a smell to them. Someone fell into the Columbus River in Portland on our 205 bridge. Oh, yeah. You fall in the river and it's just cold. You're going to get hypothermia. Your chances of making it are, it's bad enough to fall in the warm water, but yeah, your chances are somewhat between 0 and less. I think Apophis is going to pull the Earth enough. Well, they don't have enough mass to really pull the Earth. Earth will alter its orbit a little bit. My daughter outside playing in the snow and trying to figure out how I can get the snow off the chicken tractor. That chicken tractor might be hard to move. Might be weighted down. Amy Schleif. There you go, Cro-Magnon. Well, let's take a little drive here, guys. We're going to go for a drive. Now, driving tips. We're going to talk about driving tips. So, key thing about driving on ice is don't drive on ice. Now, I lived in Alaska. I had to. My gosh, that's the only way you drove in Alaska. If you wasn't driving on ice, you weren't driving. So, the roads here are still wet, so I'm not bad. The biggest thing I got to watch out for is the people around here that don't know how to drive on this stuff. That's the biggest threat, because they don't know that they can't just come up to a stop red light or a stop sign and stop. You got to sneak up on it. There's my bus. There's Betsy Blue. There's my cargo trailer. And my microgreens trailer. Is that a lot of ice up there in these trees? Yeah, these roads are still wet. The bridges might be frozen over with all this rain. It may not be right now. I'm thinking it's really gonna, all this wetness, all this rain is gonna freeze, and these roads are gonna be nothing but ice. It's gonna be really bad here. Oh, look at these trees. Look at that tree. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? It's gonna be nothing but ice on the roads here tonight. This is not going to be safe to drive on. Is that pretty? It's not going to be safe to drive on at all. So, stop signs. If you're driving, you got to sneak up on it. You come in really slow. I mean, slower than I'm coming now. Because you hit your brakes, you're not going to stop. You're going to be right in the middle of the intersection with all the other guys who don't know that they can't stop, doing some kind of square dance with automobiles, and it may not be pretty. The do-si-do with automobiles. Yeah, that's not where you want to go. Auto do-si-do. Take you to the junkyard, to the hospital. So yeah, you don't want to do that, my friends. Let me see if I can get on the defroster so we can see a little better. Turn on the defroster. Give me a second, guys. So watch bridges. Here's the tip, bridges. You approach them slow, but do not deviate when you hit that bridge. Don't hit the steering wheel. You behave your car, aim straight. Do not hit the steering wheel. Do not hit the brakes or the gas. You just stay the same all the way across. Don't give it no change, because that's when you go sliding. When you change something, you get in trouble. Let the momentum of the vehicle take you across. If you got to go up a hill, the biggest problem I see with people going up hills and ice or snow is they actually chicken out partway up the hill, and they make the big mistake of slowing down or stopping. Well, that means one thing: you're not going to have a wreck. because you're going to slide down that hill backwards with no control at all. That's the worst thing you can do going up a hill, is to chicken out, to slow down, to hit your brakes, because you're going to be in severe trouble then. That's the worst thing. I've seen it over and over and over, and I see it in total disbelief. I go, what? They don't have a brain in their head? Come on, guys, you can't do that. But I see it all the time. Look at this deer right here, guys. Beside right here. Wrong way. I heard a deer out there. Y'all see the deer? All right, another thing you can do. If you're going up a hill or if the road's real bad, you can drop off on the road just a little bit, like I just did there, if you got a shoulder. If you don't have a shoulder, you might not be able to do that. If you got just a little shoulder, be careful with that. You don't want to slide off in a ditch. So anytime you go on or off a road, do so very, very slowly and gently. Any sort of jerky moves, even coming back up on the road, can shoot you across in front of other traffic or down in the ditch. But if you're having problems with traction going on the road, especially going up a hill, and here's an obstacle in the road. We have had some of these trees shattering here, breaking. This is one of the things you get. Good thing I didn't fall on somebody, that would have hurt. If it would fall on my head, that would hurt. I mean, these trees are subject to do that. It could break. But if you need to get off on the side of the road, that will give you a little traction. So, but the biggest thing is go slow. No sudden movements ever with your steering wheel or your brakes or your accelerator. And if you come, like I said, come to a bridge, I got a little one up there across, keep your momentum going. You might build up a little speed to go up a hill, but once you get on that hill, you're committed. Do not back out. Do not stop. Do not slow down. Keep the momentum going. If you have to, drop a tire off on the shoulder a little bit, give you some traction. And you may not have much shoulder to play with. Do that very gingerly or you will wreck. But it beats sliding back down the hill. You got to be smart. Use your head. Do everything slow, easy, deliberate. You do not. Now I'm saying this for the benefit of all my southern buddies. A lot of you probably do that regularly. You're out in worse situations than I'm seeing here. But a lot of guys just the drag strip back over in that direction. Well, that water, woo-wee, we got a lot of rain. It's wet out here. Rain, all that wetness is going to freeze hard. It's supposed to go down to about 14 one night, according to my forecast. So I'm expecting a hard freeze. Is that tonight or tomorrow night? I got to go back and double check. I'm expecting a hard freeze. And I hope I keep power so I can keep coming to you guys. This tree's here. So the biggest things, and also when you start off at an intersection, once you've stopped, don't hit the gas. All you're going to do is spin your tires. Don't hit the gas. You gently ease out. So intersections, red lights, stop signs, you sneak up on them real slowly, then you might have a chance of stopping, or at least people will know you're there before you go running through it. And sneak up on it and gently ease out to get going again. Go slow. Don't ever hit the gas pedal, the brakes, or steering wheel. Everything is gentle, easy motions. Use your momentum of your vehicle to your advantage. Anytime you try to change your momentum or work against it and you're on ice, don't expect it to work. That guy's coming the wrong way. Hey, don't you know you're not supposed to go that way, guy? Get in here. Publix. I might recall I did a video from here about bugs. I did a bug apocalypse video right here. So where's the bugs at? So, yeah, summer before last, we had almost no bugs flying around here. In fact, we didn't have that many this last summer either. We were kind of in a shortage of bugs. Strange business. Strange stuff. I also used that we're hiring all shifts sign, you know, on my videos too from Burger King. So, all right, let's see what everybody's saying here. Would sassafras says wood ash helps the sidewalks to de-ice. Okay, that's a good tip. Yeah, it gives you some grit to walk on too. And it's not problematic like salt. I've got a good, well, actually even wood chips would help somewhat. I'm glad I don't drive a big rig anymore. Oh yeah, I bet. Vicky Sass, you're better off using Gorilla Glue than driving like that. Gorilla Glue. I can't keep cat litter in the house. Oh, okay. Big rigs on the road right now. I'm sure there are. Chrosniak, you know, people. You know, there's been big pileups too, guys. Been some big pileups. What, 133 cars in Fort Worth area, and 6 people no longer here amongst us. And then there was another pileup after that. Who knows? There'll be more. So, Texas friends, yeah, they're having a rough time, Elton. Oh my gosh, sassafras. I'm not going to repeat that. Scratch, I used to love messing around on snow in my cars when I was younger. Can't afford to wreck them now. That's because you drive all them big, fancy, expensive Beamers. Yeah, no junker, you don't care as much, do you? Maybe you always drove Beamers. You always been rich, Scratch? Cat litter is much better traction than sand, yep. First, tail woo, then hit the gas. Yeah, I don't know about that there, Fanika. Jason, dry like you have an egg duct taped to the bottom of your foot. There you go. Yeah, think about that. That's a good one. Egg carton on the bottom of your foot. You don't want to smash it. Let's see, Christine Belts, I moved from Birmingham, Alabama. Was told it's warmer out here. Where you at, Gypsy? Moved from Birmingham, Beeham to Alabama. From Beeham to Birmingham. Well, we got a Birmingham, England, and a Birmingham in Alabama. It's all right, Gypsy. I'm not quite following you there. Pump the brakes if you're sliding. Never press down hard. That's right. Don't ever press hard. You slam them, that's where you get the most trouble. You'll just lock up. Go skate. That's all you're doing. Skate. No rose glasses in the weather. Where's the cigar? Oh, well, I don't smoke in this vehicle. This is my non-smoking vehicle. It's in my truck. Yeah, we'll be up for a cigar. All right. Let's see, Jason Avers. Let's see, turn into slide. That's right, sassafras. Turn into the slide. If you go into slide. If you're on black ice, it may not matter. Black ice is treacherous. Black ice, the road's just blacker than normal. You can't hardly tell there's ice there on real black ice. You don't see it. Turn this vehicle off. I probably should leave it on, keep the phone charged. Don't know how much longer I'm going to have power. I might run my phone 70%. It's possible I might get home and lose power, and what I got's all I got on this phone. So I got to watch it. Snowing here in Moscow, Tennessee. Yeah. Drive little screws into the sole of your boots for traction walking on ice. Yeah, you can do that. Long make sure the screws are pointing the pointy end down. It's like studded tires, you know. In Alaska, put on studded tires, you know, for driving ice. I never did run with those, boy. And I have been in a vehicle with studded tires, slipping and sliding on black ice, like, you know, you didn't know where you were going. Black ice is treacherous. The first time I knew anything about it was when I first hit it. That's a whole nother story. I'll tell you about the black ice story before long ago. That got me. For not to wreck them. But for, oh yeah, I'll scratch it. They ain't expensive Beamers. But I prefer not to wreck, of course not. Of course not. Oh, Bellingham. Oh, okay, you moved from Bellingham, like you said Birmingham. Bellingham, Washington, says Gypsy, to Alabama. And now you're getting snowed in. What part of Alabama did you move to, Gypsy? Black ice, just pucker up and pray. That's about it. Sugar Creek, Homestead of Tennessee. West Tennessee, frozen. I bet it is. I bet. I had an 84 Benz, drove like a Panzer in the snow. All right. That's what we need, a Panzer. Now, he's got Beamers. Panzer, Scratchy got the Beamers. Here from Memphis, Tennessee, we're getting hammered with ice and snow. I bet you are. I bet you are, Michael. The black ice is called that just because it looks like
It's just wet. That's it. Sugar Creek says, well, Megan and James, okay, that's what's going for the honeybees. Scottsboro. Oh, so you're in Scottsboro, okay. Just regular rain. All right, yeah, it hadn't hit y'all yet. It's coming, though. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, Scottsboro's east of here. Wreck 2 of my trucks on the same day. Oh, black ice. 2 in the same day. That black ice, yeah, it's just treacherous. Well, honeybees. All right, guys, I'm going to run inside, grab a couple of things. I called to see if they were open, and they're open. I'll run inside and get a couple of things real quick. Get some ice cream. Yeah, ice cream. That's the thing you need in the ice storm. And there's a couple of little things I'm going to pick up. Let's see how things are looking in the store. Anyway, I guess we could go in live. I don't know. I might lose the signal in there. Probably would. Anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate all you. I tell you, be safe. Stay in. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. Don't do what I just did. And the biggest thing, the biggest tip for, like I said, for driving in icy weathers, don't drive. And even if you're from the north and know how to drive, if you're down here in the south, nobody else down here knows how to drive on that stuff. So the biggest thing you got to watch out for is the other driver. Oh yeah, leave plenty of distance between you and other vehicles, especially because they may not know what to do. Now I'll tell you, when I was growing up, I had people from Michigan. We had a lot of people left the south and went up to work in the auto industry, and their kids would come down here every year, and sometimes visiting, sometimes to stay in, to come down for Christmas and winter, and they'd laugh at all the people down here for running off the road, and people in Alabama don't know how to drive in the ice and snow. And well, that's true. But I'm gonna tell you what, I went to Michigan, and in November of 1989, I guess they didn't get a snow the year before. They got hit with 7 inches, and I drove from Detroit to Grand Rapids and back the same day, and counted over 70 cars off the road with Michigan license plates, and I laughed all the way there and back. Of course, like I said, I lived in Alaska 2 years. But I laughed at all the Michigan cars that ran off the road. So even people up north can run off the road. That's especially when they hadn't been driving in it for a little while. Of course, there might have been imports from other places driving Michigan cars. That's true too. I give them that. It could have been that. But yeah, there's like 70 vehicles that went off the road on the interstate between Detroit and Grand Rapids. But I mean, it's just fine. Me and we had 2 cars of us going. I drove one, and the other guys were driving the other. But hey, I was used to that. It wasn't no big deal to me. But so always beware of the other driver. Even if you are up north driving, you don't know that everybody around you is actually from up north driving. You might have a transplant from down south up there driving. If you don't know how to drive on ice and snow, you don't know how to drive on ice and snow. That's all I can say about it. You got to follow the tips, like I said. Sneak up on intersections. Ease off to get out of them, because you ain't just going to stop or start. It's kind of like driving a boat. That may be the best analogy. If you drive boats, that boat ain't going to stop all at once, and so you got to keep that in mind. It's kind of like that, only worse, really, because you can start a boat up pretty fast, but you ain't starting a car up real fast on ice. Yeah, I was driving along one day on the ice road up in Alaska, and I had my steering column shatter on my vehicle because it was cold. Weird things happen when you're 60 below zero, stuff that you wouldn't think about, shattering and breaking, shatters and breaks. And so that's kind of funny. You're driving down the road, and you ain't got no steering, you can't hit the brakes or nothing. So that makes it for an interesting thing. How do you get the vehicle off the road so somebody else don't hit it, and you can't steer? So that's interesting. Alaska is a very interesting place. It's not for the weak. Yeah. I'm seeing some Alaska TV shows, and they say, life's tough in Alaska. Well, you ain't kidding about that, I'm going to tell you. Let's say it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to run to the store here. Let's see. Let me do a quick check here on the comments. Al Gore is in his bunker right now. Cro-Magnon, B-Ham, Al-Am. So you're in Birmingham. Stay home is the best driving tip ever. You got that right, Jason. Stay home. No bunt cake for Al. Boom, says pull my finger. Al liked that hole. Let's y'all stay safe. All right, thank you there, Susan Peters. I just got my Pyrenees using me as a pillow. These people use a dog for a pillow. Pyrenees, yeah. Wow, and in Africa, they said if it got real cold, it would be a three. They'd pull dogs in with them to warm them up at night, and a real cold night was a 3-dog night. That's where the band got their name, 3-Dog Night. You got a great Pyrenees, one dog ought to cover it. Unless it's a puppy. Anyway, came for the worms and stayed for the icy wormholes. All right, the one. Cool. Cold weather really gets you after a while. Yeah. Alaska's like that. Like living in a Christmas card 9 months out of the year. That's where I was, up north of the range. Vicky, there are salvageable scraps. Let's see. Vicky, Jack London wrote occasionally about Alaska. Yeah, he wrote some good stuff. Did they ever release that movie? They were going to do a movie on this book called The Wild. I'd like to see it. Is it already out? I don't know. I don't keep up movies anymore. Gray's Family Homestead. Let's see what Jason's saying. Alrighty, guys. Well, we've had a little fun. We've been to the greenhouse. I'll have to go back tonight and fire that heater up at some point. No doubt about that. And I may have to hit it several times, one day or two. I've only got about 15 gallons of kerosene to get right now to stretch between the greenhouse and my house if the power goes out. So that could put me in a bit of a bind on kerosene. I need more. Something to work on in the future. Yeah, we could be out of power for weeks, if there's a massive power outage. It's possible. I hope not. I think most of the moisture for this round is coming through. Right now it's coming through as rain. That's a good thing. It's been just a slightly different temperature. I mean, it's right at freezing. I mean, if you look at the weather thing, it says it's 28 here, but it's not. It's actually about 32 according to my thermometer. But, it may vary a little bit around. And it doesn't take a big difference to make temperature-wise, to make a big difference in what's ice and what it does on the power lines. Sugar Creek Homestead, I'm heading out again. Y'all be safe. Well, you be safe, too. Crow, the quilts were ridded with glass shards. Ooh. That don't sound good. Don't that in quilts. Oh, your quilts from the wreck. I got it. Yeah. Vicky was in a wreck. Yeah, she had a lot of food stored in glass and lost a lot of that. Sorry to hear that, though. Alrighty. Malamutes are beautiful. They are. Especially when they got different colored eyes. One eye's blue and the other eye's something else. It's always kind of cute. German Shepherd be your next dog. All right, Scratch. You got to watch them around livestock, though. All right, guys. Hey, I thank you all for watching. I'll probably do a couple more videos today if I can. I hadn't done any videos in about 2 or 3 days, and it's kind of hurting things a little bit. I'm just busy, guys. I'm working on my website for the Freedom Restoration Foundation. Yeah, we're making some progress on that. So if you're interested in websites, go to... Now, if you're interested in our freedom group, the Freedom Restoration Foundation, email me at info@freedomrestorationfoundation.org and put freedom in the subject line. If you're interested in joining our survival tribe group, you can email the same email and put survival. Put survival tribe in the subject line. And that should work. And hopefully I'll be selling worms in a couple of months. Good Lord willing. So I'll put my website back up for that. If I'm selling, my website will be up. And once I get this Freedom Restoration website built, I can move over and start working on that one some. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. What else? Oh, yeah. This is the kind of situation you need to get ready for. So go to prepwithgreg.com and check out my special, about 20% off of long-term 25-year storage food. This is the kind of time you can appreciate that kind of stuff. This is a prepper type occasion, guys. It's not the it's not that it hits the fan, not a big one, but it can be certainly a huge inconvenience, and you have power for especially a week or so. Let's get you a little, get a chance, get these little, I like these little portable camp stoves with the little gas canisters. When we had our power outage when the tornadoes hit here for a week back in, when I started my worms in 2011, that April, that's what got me through. I had that, I didn't have any problem cooking and doing stuff. So that was nice. Being a prepper comes in to your advantage from time to time. Yeah, when the bug hit, and people couldn't find no TP. I thought about that stuff months ago, years ago. I was always set for that kind of stuff. I didn't have to run out and hoard it. That's why when I went to the grocery store and I saw these people lined up to the back of the store, carts full of stuff, I was laughing. Somebody got mad at me for that. It's like, well, dummies, you should have known. Pardon me. I shouldn't be that way about it. But gosh, guys, I tell everybody to prep. There's a reason. Prep. Do it. Do it now. We're coming in crazy times. It's getting crazy and crazier. So prep. Huskies for speed. Malamutes for power. There you go. Dog sleds. Best wishes, Greg. I'll be watching for updates from it. Oh, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Malamute's not great for the old German Shepherd. Old. It's Granny talking. Malamutes are cute. Husky dogs have blue. Malamutes have brown. Well, they can vary. Those eyes can be various. I've seen multicolor eyes on it. Malamute can pull a 1.5 ton, on ice. Behind a sled. Yeah, they can pull a lot of stuff. Dogs are gnarly. My dog Lucy is half husky and half Labrador, Huskador. Well, that must be an interesting mixture there. My Malamutes are more like hang around to the fort guys, not sled dogs. You get them spoiled. Rocket Man, can you please explain to folks about super cooling effects? You talking about super cold liquids or superheated liquids, Arnold? You want to talk about cryogenics? Super cooling effects. Yeah, watch cryogenics now. My goodness, the government even tells you to prep. Then they call you nuts. Yeah, ain't that something? Ain't that something? Or if you go on YouTube and repeat word for word something from a site such as the World Economic Forum, word for word, you get called a conspiracy theorist or a nut. And then people come on, oh, that's not true. They didn't say that. I quoted them word for word. I get that all the time, especially when I post it to Facebook groups. They did not say that. Oh, I quoted them word for word. There it is. I showed it. Well, that's not true. That's fake. That's fake news. They're not about that. I'm just taking what they said they were about, guys. Wow. Jason, when I was a kid, we had a shepherd farm dog. Got herself knocked up by a husky. Those puppies are some of the smartest dogs I've ever seen. Well, that's cool. Chewy weather. Yeah, hey, Chewy. Chewy lost a greenhouse, guys. So I'm going to pray. How big was your greenhouse, Chewy? Yeah, I meant to mention that. So I went up my greenhouse, Chewy. I was checking on it earlier on this video. That's where I went out my greenhouse early in this video. Check back in there, but I don't have any ice on it right now. But I ran the heater about 4 o'clock this morning after we chatted. Facebook is hot garbage. Says Laura Child. 45 days spring. Okay, yeah, spring should be here soon, thankfully. Yeah, Chewy, 20 by 12 by 10. Ouch. So Chewy lost a greenhouse to ice. How many greenhouses do you have, Chewy? That hurts. They claim CO2 raises the temp. We are closer to being too cold than too warm. What is real? Nothing from the media is real. Yeah, if it comes from mainstream media, are you buying that stuff? Yeah, I'm not buying anything they're putting out. They're full of it. They're so full of it. I take anything they tell me and go 180 degrees in the opposite direction. I figure I'll be a lot closer to truth. I ain't buying there's a bucket truck right there. Look here, getting ready to do some power grid work. Hustle utilities in a pickup truck, and there's a bucket truck. Yeah, they're ready to work. These guys are on call. They're at it today. Good. 2. So you had 2 greenhouses and you lost one. The Chewy weather had 2 greenhouses and lost one to ice. And Chewy, where are you at? Aren't you in Washington State or Oregon, somewhere up there? Where are you at, Chewy? I forget exactly. You're keeping warm, Greg. I got dogs in bed with me. Sally Mancox. There you go. And like I said, what do you got, a 3-dog night? 5 dogs. Yeah, I about died laughing about how fast Trump was acquitted when his team threatened to call Pelosi as a witness. Oh. See, I only got a post junk on Facey. Yeah, scratch. Mainstream is hot garbage. That's it. That's it. A lot of garbage. Kind of like what comes out of a sewer. Ice balls are falling. Oh, Judy. You getting hail? Wow. Hope not. Oregon, 20 miles west of Portland. Okay, you are in Oregon. I knew you was up there way somewhere. 20 miles west of Portland. Okay, you're right darn near the coast then, aren't you? See, that picture in my photo is Zoe, 15 years old, Mama Mountain. Okay. All right, good. CO2 feeds trees. Trees convert solar energy to radiant. Yep. That's true, Jason. Plant food. CO2 cools the planet. There you go. Facebook is a sewer. Yeah, aren't they all? GG, my poster, unfortunately for... GG sees my post, unfortunate for him. Scratch, we love you, man. Come on, you come in here from England. And besides, you're Kermit. that's Scratch's alternate ego's Kermit. So I do a lot of frog stuff, so I like that. All right. See, my only use for Facebook is to read over other people's posts. Well, I use it as a means to promote certain topics. It's kind of like a soapbox, that's all. But I get attacked for it. I get a lot of arrows when I do that. 50 miles from the coast. Finally, we are thawing out here. Above 40. Well, good for you. Anything hot is good, says Harry. Must be nice, says Chrosniak. That's like the nice counsel, the way you spelled that. The one that picked what books went in the Bible. So I mainly use it for selling pages. Okay. Back at you, old G. All right. All right, guys. It's been good. We still got rain right now. There's still ice in the limbs. So it'll be interesting. I need to get in here and get out. We're right at the freezing threshold. And right now it means rain's falling, but it could switch in a minute. Hopefully the rain will stop before it switches. We don't need a whole lot more ice on our power lines around here. Those trees have got a good bit in them already. I'm glad to switch to rain now. If this had been all ice, these trees have been in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Hey, I am in the heart of Dixie, guys. So we're going to go. Hope everybody's doing well. Everybody take care. Stay warm. Might want to heat your house up real good in advance in case you're losing power. Charge everything up. Get you some water sitting around for drinking. Bottle you up some extra water in case the water goes down. I mean, water should run as long as there's water in the towers. But if the towers run out of water, you ain't gonna have no water. So you might want to fill the bathtub up. Fill some 5-gallon buckets to flush things. Especially like your water lines may freeze. Then you won't have water in your house. Just take care of things like that. And me, one thing I'm gonna do, if my power goes out, I'm gonna go out to my well and open the well house up and open the faucet up to drain that water tank out so it won't freeze. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably mention that in another video. Anyway, know where your flashlights are. You're right about that. Keep them close. Keep them close. And be careful. Emergency heat, those little space heaters, and burn your house down. And you got to be careful. Don't run a generator in your garage or inside your house unless your garage is open to air, because the carbon monoxide will get you in a hurry. It's bad, guys. It's bad. Emergency alert for tornadoes in Florida. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can believe that. So if you're in Florida, watch out for tornadoes. Hey, there was a MAGA rally down in West Palm Beach today. So I don't know, guys. It was on what was that channel's name? Right Side. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So we'll come back. I'll try to get back at y'all again. I'll probably do a recorded session. We'll look at the power outage map. I'll probably record that and just post it. I was going to do that earlier. I was going to go on to do a video on the power outage map, but my buddy Diamond from Oppenheimer Ranch Project beat me to it. And since we have a lot of overlap, I thought, hey, ain't no point in posting that right now. I'll go do an update a little bit later. He might beat me again, though. He usually comes on in the wee hours, though, so I'm not going to do that. Scratch. That's what wrecked my lungs. Fanica, I'm expecting to be selling worms probably mid-April if everything works out. Mid-April. Your pipes freeze, leave a faucet open. Well, leave the faucet. Yeah, you want to have a. If you think you're going to freeze beforehand, if you want to just drain your house out, you can leave out the lowest faucet outdoors or whatever your house level is, the lowest one you got, and drain the water down. Maybe even if you thought it was going to get bad enough, you might drain out your hot water tank. It's never got so cold here for long enough I've had to drain my hot water tank. I've never done it. Never had a problem with it. But I could see it in some places. If you had a prolonged cold spell and no power, then we sure don't want that thing to rupture. But it takes a while for those to freeze. Diamond Post, 4 a.m. my time. Yeah, he's early wee hour morning poster. Looking like electric bills will be huge. I've been seeing stuff. We still got to go through rate commissions. I don't know how they can do that. They got public service commissions that regulate rates. But man, my last power bill was sky high. But yeah, I've been seeing some stuff on that. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. I hope not. But guys, yeah, this is where you really want to start thinking about going off grid. That's the safest thing. What's the best thing you can do for your power? Don't be hooked into the grid. Because that power outage, that spike from an EMP or CME comes in your house, it might just burn your house down. And there ain't no little box the size of a junction box made of potted plastic, cheap junk with wires the size of mouse wires on a computer going to give you much hope from keeping your house to burn down. I'm going to tell you that. So that stuff, people buying that stuff are buying snake oil. It might help you for a lightning or a few little minor things. It might help some because it switches the ground wire. But that ground wire is not big enough to carry some of that stuff. The one off your junction box going on the ground. You're going to have voltage division. So a lot of that stuff's still going in your house. That's electrical engineering. It's called voltage division. And it will jump the switch gap. The switch gap ain't big enough. And the voltage division, you know, that ground wire ain't going to be able to carry everything. So I'm just telling you, for those that are buying into that stuff, it's not what they advertise. Nowhere close to it. And besides that, even after the grid's down, you know, you still don't have any power. So I don't know, people think that's going to protect everything. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I need to buy one of them and run my own test on it live, or, you know, record it, burn a few of them up just for fun. You know, I might do that one day, but it costs $400. But shoot, the stuff in them don't cost them $5. Got cheap junk in them. They sell them for $400. Anyway, yeah. And if they threaten to sue me over that, I'm going to burn a few of them just for fun. I'll take them home. They scared one of my buddies, but they ain't scaring me. Anyway, yeehaw. 2040, pray for anarchy. Not the kind, well, what we don't want is what they want to put on her neck. Yeah, he might run again. They say 58% of the people are saying he should have been convicted. 58% of the public. You know, I'm having a hard time believing that. I really am. If that's true, he might not have much chance unless he can make a better case, you know, make his case and get it out there. He'll have to do that. Don't forget to wear your dust mask to protect you from the molecule that's smaller than the dust particles. Well, there's that, Fanica, but, you know, beyond, yeah, the little bitty bug is much smaller than the pores in just about anything. But it's usually laden in water droplets when people sneeze, so that will be stopped. The water droplets will get stopped by just about anything. Anywho, rule of man is evil. You got that right, Aaron loves bazooka. I suppose you're not talking about bazooka bubblegum, are you? Aaron loves bazookas. Hey, I shot a law rocket when I was in the Army. That was a lot of fun. Oh, big surprise, says Rena. Moving water will not freeze. Well, I'm going to tell you something. It gets cold enough, it'll start freezing around the edges and then freeze in. Stop up. It's cold enough, the stream is small enough, we're not fast enough. Yeah, that's what happens inside a river freezes on top. All right, guys. Yeah, I've had my aquaponic system outside. If it gets 19 degrees, I have to shut it off or have a water heater in it, or it'll freeze up and where it drains back into the pond, and then that pond will overflow and it'll pump my system dry. Can't have that. Alrighty, folks. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to get out of here. Try not to get cold in 21. There you go. Well, pray for peace and freedom from all. That's a good one. Aaron loves bazookas. That's a good one. Wait a minute. Syrian notification. Hey, Greg, just got here. I wanted to mention to everyone you should have a battery bank to run your power off of. Generators and solar rechargeable batteries. Intermittent. Generators are kind of finicky because if you don't drain the carburetors out, they'll gel out and they won't run. I have a lot of carburetor trouble with generators. Niagara Falls freezes solid. Yeah, that's right. When that thing freezes, it's cold. Yeah, it's cold, cold, cold. But generally, running water is a whole lot better. That's why you leave your faucets tripping. Ordinary every day. Hello. Hello, Ordinary. We're getting out here. I've been going for an hour now. So, everyone, y'all take care. And let me turn this around. Hang on. Sorry that I got this thing started this way. Once I got it started, my phone won't let me rotate it. It won't do it. So I tried, but it won't rotate. I hit the rotate button and it just won't switch. Anyway, I had my hands full when I started the video. I normally try to get them in horizontal mode. Anyway, everyone, how about my generator burns propane? That's good, Judy. I got one in the greenhouse that does, but I don't have propane for it right now. Anywho, all right, everyone, y'all take care and have an awesome day. Bye.